4 years, the crypto industry has been screaming into a void in Washington. But according to Coinbase's chief legal officer, Paul Grewal, that silence is officially over. Following a massive meeting between crypto titans and White House officials yesterday, the message is clear. The administration is now fully engaged. We aren't just talking about startup tech anymore. We are talking about the future of the US dollar. Today, we are breaking down Grewal's latest updates, why he's giving credit to Donald Trump for shifting the narrative, and the urgent warning he has about China's digital currency. Paul Grewal didn't mince words. He noted that the White House has moved crypto to the top of the priority list. But the reasoning behind it has changed. Historically, the argument for crypto was innovation, building cool apps and faster payments. But Grewal points out that the conversation has evolved into one of national competitiveness. Interestingly, Grewal gave credit where it's due, mentioning that Donald Trump's vocal support for the industry has forced the current administration to stop treating crypto as a niche hobby and start treating it as a geopolitical necessity. By framing crypto as a tool for American dominance, the political third rail has become a must-have policy. This leads us to the biggest red alert in Grewal's statement: the rise of the Chinese CBDC, central bank digital currency. Grewal's warning was blunt. If the US doesn't establish a clear regulatory framework, specifically for stablecoins and digital assets, the dollar risks losing ground. China is already miles ahead with its digital yuan, and they are aggressively exporting the technology to trade partners globally. The stakes are higher than ever as China plans to permit interest payments on the ECNY by 2026, transforming it from a payment tool into a global savings asset. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong has been vocal about this threat, warning that US stablecoins must remain competitive on a global stage. He recently stated that this is a matter of national security, noting that the Genius Act was a great victory for US dollar dominance worldwide, but revisiting stablecoin rewards would hand that win to China. China's strategy is multi-pronged. Through the Enbridge initiative, they are testing cross-border settlements that bypass SWIFT and the dollar entirely. Experts warn that Enbridge directly undermines dependence on the dollar and Western settlement centers, effectively creating an alternative global bridge for a de-dollarized architecture. With pilot transfers to Abu Dhabi and Indonesia taking mere seconds, this digital Silk Road is integrating the ECNY into the financial infrastructure of ASEAN and Middle Eastern nations, creating a yuan-centric economic zone that could cover 30% of global GDP. However, this shift brings significant risks to US financial stability and everyday Americans, with the impact varying across generations. For baby boomers, inflation is the top obstacle to a comfortable retirement, with 40% already cutting back on contributions. For millennials and Gen Z, the mountain is even steeper. Thanks to inflation, they may now need $3 million to retire comfortably, 3 times the traditional goal. If your 401k earns a 5% return but inflation hits 8%, you're losing 3% of your purchasing power every year. Over a decade, this can reduce the real value of your retirement income by nearly 30%. If the dollar loses its status as the world's primary reserve currency, the exorbitant privilege that allows the US to borrow cheaply vanishes. This could lead to a permanent spike in interest rates, making mortgages and car loans more expensive. We are talking about a silent transfer of wealth where your hard-earned savings buy less every year. For the White House, this is no longer a financial debate, it's a national security one. As Ron Tarter, CEO of MNE, points out, dollar-denominated stablecoins are now strategic tools to preserve dollar hegemony in global commerce. So, what does fully engaged actually look like? It means we are likely to see a push for the Clarity Act and stablecoin legislation move through Congress with actual momentum. Grewal's takeaway is that the regulation by enforcement era is finally being replaced by a legislative-first approach. The White House is now looking for ways to keep crypto talent and capital inside the US, instead of driving it to London, Dubai, or Singapore. The takeaway is simple. The US government has finally realized that you can't ban crypto. You can only choose where it happens. And if it doesn't happen here, the dollar pays the price. But what do you think? Is this engagement from the White House genuine? Or is it just election cycle posturing? And can the US really catch up to China's digital currency head start? Drop a comment below. I want to hear your thoughts on Paul Grewal's warning. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on the front lines of crypto regulation. I'll see you in the next one.